Guest speaker, Mr. Hake was born in Virginia and raised in Britt. He is a 1994 graduate of Virginia High School. From there, he went on to UMD, where he graduated with a Bachelor's of Applied Science in Science in 1990. After receiving his degree, Brian went to work in the juvenile justice and children's mental health field from 1990 to 1999. In 1999, Mr. Hake took his first teaching position with the Chisholm schools, taught special ed and junior high science. He held that position until 2014. During that time, Mr. Hake went back to school, received his master's degree from Bemidji State in 2006, and his principal licensure in January of 2014. As you can see, he truly is a lifelong learner. 30-year span from the first time he graduated from high school to his last degree. We should all learn from that. Brian is currently the principal at the Gilbert campus for the Everett Gilbert School District. Mr. Hake lives in Balkan with his wife, Alyssa, and his son, Patrick. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Hake.
Thank you very much. So Mr. Aldrich and I have a little informal competition going on this year. It involves tears shed at this year's graduation and festivities throughout the year. The difference is that Mr. Aldrich's first is graduating and mine last is graduating. I'm pretty sure he started crying in September and hasn't stopped since. So, I think I'm winning this one. We're also crying for different reasons. He's crying out of sadness for losing his daughter, and I'm crying for joy for getting my last one. No offense, Patrick. So I'm going to spin the podium a little bit and talk to the graduates here. You guys are welcome to listen in. So this is the day you've all been waiting for. This is your time in the spotlight, and your time to remember the good times and the not so good times. The only people more excited and relieved than you right now are your parents. As I speak, some of your parents are making plans for your soon-to-be vacated rooms. Maybe a craft room or a workout room, or maybe a new TV room to enjoy. I'm sure there are still some parents that may be turning your room into some sort of shrine to your high school accomplishments. Never to be touched or changed. Just waiting for your visits or your return. Sorry about that, business. When I looked at some pointers on writing and giving the speech, I came across some very good advice. The speech is not about me, the speaker, the speech is about you, the graduates. I do not remember the speech from my graduation 31 years ago, and I can't even tell you who the speaker was. The only thing I do remember about that night was wanting the ceremony to be over so I could get on with my summer and the rest of my life. The other piece of advice I took when I made this speech is to make it short. I just heard something about attention spans of humans is now less than goldfish, which is not good. I promise to be on the short end. I'm going to attempt to give you some advice that you can take with you and hopefully remember as you move on to new adventures in your life. And carry it in your memory, much like you all remember the chemical formula for photosynthesis from Mr. Hake's 7th grade science class. Right, Brenna? First piece of advice is to know what is important in your life. Some of the happiest and most well-adjusted people you will meet are those who have their priorities straight. Family and friends are very important, and they keep you grounded. They will not let you get too full of yourself, but also encourage you to do your best and be proud of your accomplishments. They will put up with your mistakes and be there to pick you up after a fall. They will also be there to celebrate your victories, no matter how big or small, and give you advice on tough life decisions. Have a friend that will be there for you no matter what happens. A true friend will drive long distances to help you through a crisis and never think twice. They ask nothing in return except the exact same consideration of you. This friend needs to be honest with their opinions and not be afraid to tell you that you're full of garbage on occasion. Having friends like this is one of the most important things in your life. Another important thing to remember is where you come from. Chisholm is a small town in the bigger scheme of things, but it is very important. There have been numerous success stories that started in Chisholm, from CEOs of major corporations to state legislature, senators, and even U.S. senators. This small town has bred its share of legends. Be mindful and proud of where you come from, and bring with you the knowledge that you have come from someplace very special. The longer you're away, the more aware of how special Chisholm is. Second, and probably the toughest lesson that I've learned over the years is hard work is worth it. There's a saying I use that I'm sure my son is very sick of. Good enough is not good enough. Do all things with pride, whether it's the simple day-to-day things like cleaning your room or mowing the lawn, or more important things like interviewing for a job or doing your work in college courses. Your work says much about who you are as a person. Do you want to be known as a person who goes that extra mile to make people happy and do the best job possible, or the good enough person? A strange thing happens when you work hard. You feel good about yourself and the job you've done. That in turn makes you happy and work harder, and then your job gets better and better. It's a circle. Circle of life. Thank you. Second science class reference. Third, you will fail in some things. The important thing is how you respond to that failure. Do not fear failure, but embrace it. When it happens, learn from your mistakes and your weaknesses and build on them to ensure success in the future. If you are afraid to fail, you will never have that chance to succeed. Life will throw unexpected failures at you. Things you might have taken for granted will not turn out the way you wanted. But those situations will make you a better person. Stay above the pettiness and the black hole of self-pity. There is a reason for every setback. It just may take a while to realize what that reason is. Be strong in the face of failure. Remember, you are good enough, you are strong enough. And gosh darn it, people like you. Fourth, and adding on to the previous piece of advice, do not be afraid to put yourself out there. Take chances that are outside your comfort zone. That comfort zone in return will expand and allow you to stretch yourself and make yourself a better, more well-rounded person. There are things that you are good at that you don't even realize exist at this point in your lives. You will only learn from those by doing things that are a little stressful and uncomfortable. Without taking that chance, you will never realize your potential. As I have quoted many times in science class, carpe diem, seize the day. Take those chances and learn from the results. Find the inner strength to put yourself out there on a limb. So, in conclusion, and in the spirit of this speech and putting yourself out there, Patrick and I have prepared a song for you. So Patrick, if you want to come up and... Talk about putting yourself out there. Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a lesson but a question learned in time. It's something unpredictable. it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. So take these photographs and still frames in your mind. Hang them on a shelf with good friends and good time. Pictures of memories and faces filled with smiles. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while. It's something unpredictable, and in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, and in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, and in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life.